Dre.
He might look like he doesn't talk much, but trust me, he has the power to end your life in the blink of an eye. Since the 1996 murder of the rap superstar Tupac Shakur, fingers have been pointed and accusations have been placed at the doorstep of many celebrities. Now, Dr. Dre finds himself in the mix and things aren't looking like they're going to turn out in his favor. Keep watching till the end of this video to see just in, Dr. Dre arrested. Tupac hated Dr. Dre before signing to death row. Furthermore, Tupac didn't like how Dr. Dre was getting all the producing credits for All Eyes on Me in 1996, while in reality, Dr. Dre's contributions were quite minimal. Tupac never hid his hatred for Dr. Dre at all. In one of the interviews with Vibe magazine, he threw a jab at Dr. Dre saying he wasn't producing shit. Other was producing the beats and he was getting all the credit. He a dope producer, but he ain't worked in years, taking 3 years to do one song. After Dr. Dre left death row, Tupac dissed him in almost every song he released, also alleging him to be biased. On the Don Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory released in 1996, he jabbed, "We shook Dre punk ass, now we out of the closet, California Love Part Mother 2 without gay Dre." On the same album, nearly the entire third verse of Toss It Up was dedicated to dissing Dr. Dre. No longer Dre Day, Arriva Dirty, check your sexuality, as fruity as this Elise, screaming Compton but you can't return, you ain't heard, brother pissed cause you switched and escaped to the burbs. The song's beat, especially before the remix of the album, was actually very similar to Blackstreet No Diggity, which was produced by Dre. Most of the first verse on a song that never made it to any official album, Watch Your Mouth, was also aimed at Dr. Dre, specifically because Dre was working with Nas immediately after he left death row. He rapped, "He ain't made a beat in 6 years, swear he the shit, won't get no record sales, sucking Nas." Dr. Dre hated Suge Knight for bringing in Tupac. Dr. Dre and Suge Knight have had an interesting relationship over the years. From chart-topping highs to depressing lows, the pair were once a formidable force in the industry. However, over the years, their friendship began to sour and turned to hatred. Dre and Knight's partnership began in 1991 when the two met through their mutual friend, the DOC. Dr. Dre was keen to leave Ruthless Records as Jerry Heller had lost control of the collective. As a result, Dre was eager to find a new musical home, and Knight proposed the two go into business by founding a label. Knight told Dre that he would be free to scout talent and produce while Knight himself would supervise operations and the label's finances, which Dre was more than happy to agree to. By threatening Eazy-E, Knight managed to get Dre released from his contract with Ruthless Records. Still, Eazy-E received 20% of all death row material. Between 1992, when Dre released his debut The Chronic, and 1995, the operations at Death Row Records ran smoothly. When Tupac was released from jail and began spending time with Suge Knight, the two began fueling the East Coast versus West Coast war, which made the atmosphere at the label toxic and dangerous. The notorious gangster was not only threatening people in the streets, but was encouraging diss records and more. This upset Dr. Dre, as he could no longer make quality material due to the label's constant embrace of negativity and street politics. According to Dr. Dre himself, in 1995 he became depressed and turned to alcohol and Furthermore, there were allegations that he abused his then-girlfriend, the R&B singer Michelle, and even broke her nose. However, after the death of Tupac, Dre could no longer take the toxicity that came with working alongside Knight, and chose instead to partner with Jimmy Iovine, who then, through legal channels, got the G-Funk producer off the label. A year later, Snoop Dogg also left, meaning Death Row was left without its stars. Suge Knight sues Dr. Dre for trying to kill him. The continuing saga of Suge Knight's murder trial has taken another turn, with the former rap impresario issuing a lawsuit demanding around $300 million from Dr. Dre and alleging that his former protege has tried to have him killed to avoid paying the money owed. The suit, waved away by Dre's attorney Howard King, is a response to a wrongful death lawsuit filed against Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Universal Music. That case was brought by Lillian Carter, the widow of Carrie Carter, who was run over and killed by Suge Knight's truck during the filming of the NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton. Knight also faces a murder charge for Terry Carter's death. Marion Suge Knight's murder trial has been shrouded in much mystery. This cross-complaint reveals why, wrote Knight's attorney Thaddeus L. Culpepper in the new complaint. Suge Knight claims Dr. Dre was responsible for the incident in which Carter was killed. Tupac's death. On the night of September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur, also known by his stage names Tupac and Machiavelli, was in Las Vegas, Nevada to celebrate his business partner Tracy Danielle Robinson's birthday. He was also there to attend the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match with Suge Knight at the MGM Grand. In the lobby where the match was being held, someone in their group spotted Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, an alleged Southside Compton Crip. The guy who spotted him accused Anderson of having recently tried to snatch his chain with a Death Row Records medallion on it in a shopping mall. Apparently, Baby Lane got the beating of his life that evening. Afterwards, Tupac made a stop at his hotel room and then headed with Knight to his Death Row nightclub, Club 662, in a black BMW 750IL sedan as part of a larger convoy. At about 11 p.m. on Las Vegas Boulevard, bicycle-mounted police stopped the BMW for its loud music and lack of license plates. The plates were found in the trunk, and the car was released without a ticket. A few minutes later, at about 11:15, a white four-door late-model Cadillac sedan pulled up to the passenger side of the BMW, and an occupant rapidly fired into the car. Tupac was struck 4 times, once in the arm, once in the thigh, and twice in the chest, with one bullet entering his right lung. Shards hit Knight's head, leaving him injured. Knight managed to drive Tupac and himself a mile away from the crime scene to Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon Avenue despite his injuries. They were stopped again by the bike patrol, who radioed paramedics. Tupac was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where he was heavily sedated and put on life support. Tupac died of respiratory failure that followed a cardiac arrest due to the removal of his right lung while in the critical care unit on the afternoon of Friday, September 13, 1996. Doctors